Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Randy the Reseller. Thank you for joining me today. Today's video is going to be things I'm doing differently in 2021. I started reselling back about the middle or end of 2018. I've never really taken it very seriously for very long. So this year is more about consistency and trying to do things on a schedule and make it more of a business than a hobby. I have seen at times I do stay consistent, I do very good with sales. Times I'm not so much. So let's get started with the things I'm doing differently. Number one, no death piles. I heard a YouTuber recently say if you have constant big death piles laying around, this may not be the business for you. Yeah, she's probably right about that. The reason for me is because when they lay around too long, the items just kind of get boring, and I go towards more the newer stuff that I've gotten, and then I just never list my death pile. That being said, my death pile did save me when COVID hit and everything shut down. I ended up listing it and got rid of my death pile, and I'm slowly building up another one now that I have to get rid of. So number two is list consistently. I've always been terrible at this. I'll do great for a week or two, then I just kind of burn out and say I'm going to take a day off, and I'll take 3 days off, and my sales just go downhill. So I've tried to set a reasonable goal for myself of at least 5 items daily. Excuse me. Of course, I want to do more than 5 items a day, but if I can get at least that many every day, I know I'm being consistent with at least that much. So number 3 is relist stale items. 5 a day. I've made myself a list of the items that need to be done. I actually just started this today. I'm relisting 5 items, telling myself I'm going to do it every day. Hope I do. But I relisted 5 items today. And like I said, I have a list that should last me about 2 weeks, and then I'll start over from there. Well, going back to the relisting items, on the days that I don't have the time or the want to actually list new items, at least I know I'll be listing that much. Number 4, stop buying junk. Stop buying junk. I am terrible about this. I live in a small town. It's really difficult sometimes to find really good items. So I find myself settling for things if it's cheap enough that really aren't going to, that are probably just going to sit in my closet and waste space in my house. I'm trying to not do as much of that anymore. Once again, I do live in an area where it's hard to find high-end items. I have to drive an hour to find really good things that are really, to most people, just bread and butter. I'm never going to find the high-end designer stuff. So I just need to be more careful and not buy just absolute junk. I don't mind if I only pay 50 cents for something, if I only make $4 or $5 on it. But absolute junk that just sits in my closet, I'm going to stop doing this year. Okay, here's a tough one for me. Treat reselling like a business. Get up, get showered, get dressed, act like I'm going to work every day. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for several years, and I, back in 2019, decided to stop working and stay home with my daughter, and I've gotten lazier and lazier and lazier. It's yoga pants and t-shirts, and sleeping in as late as we want to. That's one thing I really need to change, is have a consistent schedule. It makes things a lot easier. So I haven't done very good with that so far this year, but I'm going to improve on that. Number 6, post 2 YouTube videos every week, and state my goals. I think it helps me. I feel like I'm held accountable to someone out there to at least attempt to reach the goals that I say I'm going to make, and it's fun. It helps keep me on track a little bit, and I think if I do 2 a week, maybe I'll get a little bit better at this. Okay, use free shipping supplies is number 7. I have to buy all the cute little poly mailers, designer mailers. I'm going to stop doing that this year. I do have some. I'm going to continue to buy them for like eBay and Mercari when it's not priority, but I'm going to use the post office free shipping supplies. I have been doing that consistently this year. Like I said, I do still have to buy the poly mailers for eBay, Mercari, things that aren't priority mail. But beyond that, when I can, I'm always going to be using free shipping supplies from now on. Number 8, invest a percentage back into the business. This is one thing that, to be successful in any business, you absolutely have to do. I don't do that. If I've got $400 sitting in my Poshmark account and I decide I want to buy something, I just transfer it to my bank and I buy it. And because I've got $400, I don't know yet exactly what percentage I'm going to go with, but that's something I'm going to be working to figure out throughout the week this week, and I'll know by next week exactly what I need to do. But a large percentage of it, at least 70%, I want to keep and invest back into the business. That's going to be really tough for me to do, since this is my only source of income. But I don't have anything that I just have to have money for. I spend most of my money on wants, and I need to stop doing that and treat this like a business. Number 9, be more organized. My little office space is an absolute disaster right now. I have a small space to work in, but I'm actually doing pretty good with organization this year as far as receipts, making sure that I'm putting them into my Google Sheets, making sure that I know what I've spent, what my average cost per item is, and filing those receipts away. Those kind of things I'm doing a lot better with. I just have to find a way to make this small space work for me. I do have out in the garage some areas where I store some of the items that I'm selling, but it's just easier to try to have it all inside than going out to the garage. It's always, here in Florida, it's either freezing cold or hot, and the garage is either freezing cold or hot. I just don't like going out there digging for stuff. So I'm trying to pull as much of it as I can into this space. And it's just hard to get really organized with not much room to do it. Number 10, grow my inventory to 1,500 and keep it there. That's going to be tough. Right now, I'm at about 670. So I'm definitely going to have to list more than 5 items a day to get there. But I have noticed I've gotten it up to around 850, 900 in the past. And noticed I had very consistent sales when I did that. And my items sold for more per item. I was profiting a little bit more when I had more items listed. I did make a lot more bundle sales. Just more choice, of course, is always going to bring more customers. So that's something I really want to work hard on. I would like to, by July or August, hit that 1,500 and kind of try to stay at about that amount, maybe a little more, a little less, but I really want to stay about right there, because I have noticed in the past when I was, like I said, up above around 800ish, I noticed a big difference in my sales. So if I can nearly double that, I think it'll be really worth my time to do. So anyway, that's it. That's what I'm going to try to do differently in 2021. I've said it here. Now I've got to stick with it and do my best to reach that.